Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're tackling a subject that is universally known, yet almost universally misunderstood. We are separating fact from sensationalized fiction surrounding the pit bull. You know, we see them in the news, we hear the rumors, and naturally, we form opinions. But how much of what we think we know is actually grounded in reality? Well, let's find out.
Take a listen to this quote. "There is no such thing as a bad breed. Pit bulls are individuals, not stereotypes." That right there is our core thesis for today. We're going to dive into the data and the science to show that a dog's behavior is ultimately about the individual animal, their upbringing, and their environment, rather than just some blanket one-size-fits-all stereotype.
Okay, let's dive right in. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The Pitbull paradox. 2. Debunking physical myths. 3. Temperament and behavior truths. 4. Why do myths persist? And finally, 5. The bottom line.
Section 1. The Pitbull Paradox. Misunderstood by default.
Honestly, there are very few dog breeds in the entire world as heavily burdened by negative reputations as the pit bull. They are just constantly surrounded by this storm of alarming headlines, deep-rooted stereotypes, and widespread misinformation. But here's the thing. When you actually consult the science, behavior experts, and real-life experience, you quickly learn that the public narrative rarely reflects reality. The truth is far more nuanced and, remarkably, far more positive than what we typically see in the media.
Moving on to Section 2, Debunking Physical Myths. Biology over bias.
So, are pit bulls mechanically different from other dogs? I mean, you've probably heard the rumors that they have physical traits making them uniquely dangerous compared to, say, a lab or a shepherd. Let's look at what the data actually says.
0. That is the exact amount of scientific evidence proving that pit bulls have special locking jaws. It's literally a complete myth. When you study their anatomy, their jaw structure is mechanically similar to that of any other dog of comparable size. Yes, like many strong breeds, they have powerful jaws, for sure, but there is absolutely nothing mechanically unique or capable of locking.
And here's another major anatomical misconception: the idea that pit bulls just don't feel pain. The truth? They feel pain exactly like any other dog. This myth actually stems from psychology, not biology. They possess this incredibly high level of determination and focus, especially when they're playing or working. That intense focus can simply mask their reaction to pain in the moment. But biologically speaking, their nervous systems are just like any other canines.
Section 3. Temperament and behavior truths. Factoring in the psychology.
The prevailing myth out there is that pit bulls are naturally aggressive and entirely unpredictable. But here is the objective truth. No dog is born aggressive toward humans by default. Behavior is shaped by genetics, training, and the environment. When raised positively, pit bulls are affectionate, they're loyal, and they are deeply people-oriented. And unpredictable? No way. Like all dogs, they show clear warning signs before reacting. Incidents usually happen when humans misread or completely ignore those normal canine warning signals.
Here's a really surprising historical anecdote for you. Historically, pit-type dogs were frequently referred to as nanny dogs because of their gentle and protective nature with children. Now, obviously, supervision and proper training are absolutely crucial for any breed around kids, but this history highlights that with the right care, many pit bulls actively thrive in loving family environments.
Okay, another big one. The idea that pit bulls are simply not smart. Actually, scratch that. The truth is the exact opposite. Pit bulls are highly intelligent dogs, and crucially, they're incredibly eager to please their human companions. This combination makes them highly receptive to learning new things.
Because they are so smart and eager to please, pit bulls consistently excel in obedience training, complex agility courses, sensitive therapy work, and demanding search and rescue roles. Think about it. A genuinely unintelligent breed simply couldn't thrive in these highly specialized, human-partnered environments. They require sharp focus, rapid learning, and a really deep bond with their handlers to succeed at these tasks.
Now, there is a persistent myth that says once aggressive, always aggressive. But science and behavior experts fundamentally disagree. Through a proven path of proper training, behavior modification, and responsible ownership, dogs with rough starts can significantly improve over time. It definitely takes consistent work and dedication, but they are absolutely not lost causes.
Section 4. Why do myths persist? Looking at the root causes.
This right here is perhaps the biggest revelation of our whole explainer. A pit bull is not a single specific breed. It's actually a general umbrella term. It's a catch-all label grouping together several completely different types of dogs that just happen to share a blocky head or a muscular build. So, when any dog with a certain look acts out, it gets logged under the exact same Pitbull umbrella, which deeply skews the data and the public's perception of risk.
And that umbrella label feeds directly into the primary drivers of this stigma. You have disproportionate media coverage that just loves a sensational headline. You have widespread misinformation passed from person to person. And of course, you have this deeply flawed practice of grouping multiple distinct breeds under one label. These three factors create a relentless cycle of confusion that unfairly punishes individual, well-behaved dogs simply based on their physical appearance.
Which brings us to Section 5, the bottom line, replacing fear with education.
When we look at bite risk influencers, the myths claim that breed alone determines danger, that genetics entirely dictate behavior, and that some dogs are inherently bad. But studies reveal the reality. Training is paramount, socialization shapes a dog's reactions to the world, and owner responsibility is the key factor. Bite risk is always closely tied to environmental factors and human guidance. Any dog can become dangerous in the wrong environment, just as any dog can be a loving companion in the right one.
So, this leaves us with a final provocative question to think about. How can we actively replace fear with education in our own communities to make life better for all dogs? Pitbulls deserve to be understood as individuals, not judged by a collection of debunked myths. So take these facts, share them, and let's start judging dogs by their individual character, not their category. Thanks so much for learning with me today on this explainer.